chasing shadows in the night. Words echo silent where I hide. Every mirror shows a stranger's eyes, searching for the part of me that's mine. But the sky ignites a spark inside, burning down to wait. In the ashes of my fight, truth is born again. I won't rise up like a phoenix from the flame. Find my voice and call out your name. From the roots of what I used to be, I'll embrace the truth and set it free. Blinded by the weight of all my fears, I let them break me, shake my every scars a testament to love. Now I rewrite the story in my mind. Just feel the fire burning. I'm no longer turning away from the truth that's calling. I'm alive today. All I used to be, flash of freedom, flies very and set me free. Rising high, real phoenix, watch me go.
Brian is innocent. Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.
All right, we're going to try this one more time. Fair game for the public to hear. I sure hope you can hear me now. There we are. I am going to power through this. Excuse me. Now, can you hear me? Drop a 1 if you can. I'd appreciate it. Thank you to all of you who let me know that my audio was not working. Boy, remember the days people would crash out when our audio didn't work? I'll tell you. You know that when they come after you because you were on track, boy, they try to get you canceled. They try to get your TikTok canceled. They try to get your YouTube canceled. I'm telling you, you can keep on trying. I'm not going anywhere. I am not going anywhere. Speaking of weather and sickness, I hope that you all are staying warm and cozy in your homes, wherever you may be. I have been watching all the weather. It is wild. Please, if you do not have to go outside, PSA, stay inside. I see that there's school days canceled all over, snow days in effect. So let me say good afternoon to Becca. Hey, Lulu Bell, how are you? Happy Monday. It's a perfect timing. I just got done shoveling 10 inches of ice covered snow, and no talkie before coffee. That is the worst type. I've lived through a snowmageddon, and it is in 2000. and I lived through Ice Mageddon in North Carolina, and nothing like Snowmageddon in Idaho. We got slammed with storms. Fun times. No, that is no fun other than you can stay warm and cozy. I got a video that you could probably watch, and it'll take a couple of hours of your time today if you're not doing anything and you can't go to work. Um, if you haven't seen His and Hers on Netflix, you guys are in. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. Don't look it up. I guarantee you do not want to find you don't want to go to Google and learn because there is spoilers out there. I'm glad I searched after the movie. It's not really a movie. It's like a long movie. It's about 6 shows. But if you haven't watched it, do it. Becca, 14 inches of snow. I've never seen another flake. I wouldn't be sad. Oh my gosh, everybody's praying for summer. Snow and ice, hard work, definitely. Minnesota, woo, welcome. Mary, welcome in the house. Amanda B, hello. I'm glad y'all can hear me now. Just don't hear me cough. I'm snowed in under 16 to 17 inches of snow. Holy moly. I couldn't imagine. I am feeling a little bit better today. Body chills are gone. I haven't done my shot, so I'm waiting to feel a little bit better. And let's just see what this says. Not being negative, please be careful if shoveling. Absolutely, you could slip and bust your head. I'm telling you. I had a friend who was a thin gal but passed after shoveling a lot of heavy snow. Did she have some type of heart issue or something? I just have to say, Cat's Girl, because you put this up there. A lot of you know that I'm a retired classically trained naturopathic doctor. I know some of my old clients message me and say, "What are you doing in true crime? Girl, get back to work." I'm like, "Nope, I'm retired." But I will say there is such a thing as skinny fat. And if you don't know what that is, go look it up. Skinny fat is the most dangerous fat that you can accumulate inside and around your organs. So definitely overworked, overheated, you could have a stroke at any time. God, do I know. So let's get into this. I know a lot of people are asking to share the pictures, and I will. And, I've looked through all of these pictures. There is nothing really bad in here. And I can understand why some people are saying, please don't show those pictures because it'll ruin their whole freaking lawsuit. People, I'm just going to get right down to the nitty gritty. I'm so tired of beating around the whatever you want to call it. I'm so tired of people not being just so truthful up front. I'm so tired of it. No filter today, Phoenix, is going to be on. So, in case you've not seen No Filter Phoenix, these savage assholes need to be removed off the streets. They need to be removed. Think about all the innocent people that are behind jail, behind in prison. Think about it. If these pictures that were released and then deleted off of the ISP, the Idaho State Police website, there is a lawsuit in Washington. Those pictures can show that this was more than one person. There goes their whole freaking lawsuit with WSU. They are trying to hold Koberger accountable via the Washington State University and hold them accountable. But if they could show reasonable doubt to any judge, there would be no reason to settle. There would be no money in a lawsuit for these families. Think about it, people. Use your brain, use your logic. God gave us all the ability to think, and we need to think together. I've seen this before, okay? I'm not a lawyer by no means. I'm going to put my banner up here for my disclaimer because I truly believe we are not here to bash anybody. This is informational commentary and entertainment. Some of it is entertainment. I mean, I talked about the weather. I'm going to give you a quick video about the weather. Here we go. Let's see if this works. I love this.
I was not born to be in this kind of weather. I'm scared of stepping out and dying immediately, instantly from hypothermia. I was not born to be of stepping out.
Don't make.
Yeah, it looks like.
I'm not superstitious, but I will be stitious adjacent. Like a little stitious goes a long way. I don't want to sound crazy or nothing, but
That
did
is
anybody
probably
else
the
notice
funniest one I've
that,
seen yet.
like right after Christmas, the government was like, people ain't spending money like they used to. The economy ain't economy. Then boom, out of nowhere, Snowmageddon, winter weather of biblical proportions. Mind you, down here in the South, it was like 50 some odd degrees just the other day. I had shorts on, my grill was uncovered, mosquitoes were mosquitoing. And then the next thing you know, every weatherman on TV is like, I ain't seen nothing like this. This storm is going to be huge. It might go north, it might go south, but all we know is that it's going to be bad. So what do? We go full Little House on the Prairie panic mode, and we're stocking up on milk and bread and eggs and toilet paper and food that we wouldn't even eat on a bad day. Everybody's out here buying generators and propane and batteries and anything that they could find to survive the snotorious BIG.
Notorious.
Everybody's out here spending money they don't have on a storm that might be 0 inches of ice. It might be a foot of snow. We don't know. It might go north. It might go south. It could go east or west. It's just coming. And if nothing happens, who's to blame? They're just going to say, congratulations, you're prepared. We'll all just be sitting at home with $300 worth of groceries and enough milk to open a daycare. I ain't saying it's a conspiracy. I'm just saying it's awfully convenient.
Now, keep in mind, some people didn't get any freaking snow. Some people did. And obviously, some people here on the channel have been shoveling snow. And Caleb says 3+ foot of snow in Columbus, Ohio. I saw your pictures. If you guys got snow, drop it below. And people really think trees explode. I love it. Oh, my boyfriend works for a big company. His store was way below on sales for the week, and then the storm was forecasted and now well over. Absolutely. I mean, I used to think that too. They were sold out of generators, rock salt, and snow blowers. It's wild. I mean, always keep a generator on hand. You never know when you're going to need it. But let's get into the IDAHO4. I'm going to give you the photo dump. I've gone through them. They're not as bad as everyone is saying. Now, mind you, I will say I've seen some horrific crime scene photos. And some of the things that we thought were true. And believe me, they have been trying to take my channel down. I won my appeals. And I'm just happy with that. But one thing I want to start with is this video that I made a little while ago. Because this, my friends, not the audio and video you've seen on Linda Lane. I believe all that audio and video is telling you a fake story. Okay, I think somebody has released that audio and video, in my humble opinion, and it's a bunch of hogwash. I believe this. Now, was the grub truck streamed? Was something streamed there? Possibly, but we've not seen it surface in 3 years. However, I need to start it off with this video of mine that I shared, and I have got to grab it real quick. And we're going to share this video that I made back on, let me see when I made this video. 1 second. I made this video on December 9th, 2025. Let's listen to what the neighbor said.
Just look into this a little deeper. So the girls at 1118 just told him, hey, we'll get you the video security cam. And they come out and they tell him this.
Yeah.
Now remember, she's already handed him, Gunderson,
They realize
the disc.
Okay. Thank you.
They're going to get caught anyways.
Now, you heard what she said. They left at 3 and came back at 5. So if something happened between that time, they didn't hear. That's basically, I'm paraphrasing.
Okay. And I was till about 5
Her
a.m.
room is right next to the
Okay.
1122.
They left at 3.
And by the way, they left.
Have you talked to all your roommates and stuff like that?
Yeah, we kind of got the whole. Nobody like know what's going on. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind, guys, this is going to be a Phoenix fireball. You guys are going to blow your top when I tell you this. Listen closely to what he says. And remember the guy who was packing the tote in a truck and left? That's him.
Did you see, hear anything last night? Anything like that? Suspicious this morning? Anything?
I fell asleep around like 11, and then I woke up around like 2 to like some yelling.
At 2?
Yeah, around like 2 or 3, like some yelling.
He told the officer, this was the second witness, I was woken up about 2 or 3 and I heard some like yelling. This is the guy who you see in the, I guess it was a Ford with the big blue tote. He left before cops came. No, this is the 1118 right next to the 1112 house. This little gray house next to the blue with the stairs is the guy who packs up and leaves right before the cops get there. Okay? This guy, and I don't know how this went down, but listen to what he says.
I mean, it didn't sound like it was right over here. It sounded like it was more down this way. Okay, so I don't really know. Like, but that's.
He said it didn't sound like it was over at the 1122. It kind of sounded like it was the other way. There's only one other way, and that is over by 1127 up the hill, just like when the Snyder's body cam and Captain Lanier is talking, and they say basically that the party was over there. There was a party. All I've ever heard.
Yeah, weird. So that was one witness
Okay, that was one witness, and then the other one
to the
was
noise.
across
This
the
is
way.
the next, number 2, and then 2 possibly at the 1112 security camera house. He's going in here to talk to these people who live in this house. Can't make this stuff up, folks. Can't make it up.
Mattresses.
Listen to what they say. I wonder who called 911 at the 301 Banfield. I go into detail at the YT on this, by the way.
Hey guys. Hey, I'm Ryan with Moscow. Who all lives here? You 4? Who was all staying here last night? Everybody was? Okay. She mentioned that somebody heard or saw something maybe.
I was walking from the club at 3 a.m.
Okay.
I don't know, kind of drunk. But like, I think it was, I don't know if it was music or just some like loud.
I just heard something from where?
I don't know if it was music or like.
Do you know where you heard it from? Where it came from?
I was just walking right there, and then I just walked home.
Okay.
I'll show you what she's talking about. So I went back to look to verify. And sure enough, here comes this person that lives there walking in at approximately 2:58. So she was almost at 3 o'clock. She was right. You can hear in the background what's going on. And I wonder where she's hearing the music at. Maybe the alleged truck that's parked up on the hill. I'll show you that next. Well, let's just look into this a little.
Okay, so that video kind of sparked the whole this happened between 2 and 3, and there were other witnesses that may have heard something. So keep in mind when you look at the pictures, you're going to get an idea. So I'm going to start it with this. Does anybody remember what time the receipts were for the grub truck? What time did Maddie and Kaylee leave the grub truck? At 1:51. And what time was the DoorDash for Xana on someone's account? They don't know whose it was. The DoorDash was somewhere around 2 something, correct? What are the deets? Person holding a blue pencil. I don't know. So when you look at if Xana had food, we're going to look at her pictures in a minute. The beautiful thing about this is I can go over and I can look directly at these bedrooms because they've broken them out on bedroom 2. Now, I have to give you a warning right now. If you don't want to see this, turn it off, go somewhere else, or just turn away and listen to what I'm saying. So we do know that it looks like in these pictures, food must have been in there. Food must have been in the room, and perhaps Xana and Ethan grabbed their food and went to the room. I'm just telling you what I see. You might see something different, but this is what I see. Now, in my humble opinion, all these rooms look ransacked. They look like someone has gone through these rooms even before they stepped in the rooms, in my humble opinion. Because at 2 a.m., there were 5 different things happening. Maddie and Kaylee were not home. They were in the car on the way home. At 2 a.m., Dylan and Bethany were seen outside walking down Taylor towards King. So apparently, this house was in fact empty. EMPTY. Empty, and somebody was able to get in this house, and I think they were laying and waiting for them to all get home. And whether they were hiding or not, I don't know. But in my humble opinion, these rooms were torn apart before they all got there. Now, I can go, picture by picture, and I will. But this is an after picture, in my humble opinion. They have already put Amido Black all over the room, and they have removed the bodies because there are no bodies in this picture. Okay? And this one, same thing. Amido Black, you see it on the floor. You see they've dusted for some pictures. I think, there's some things that are tastefully redacted. And one thing that I did notice that somebody else noticed is Xana's dresser looked like somebody went through it. And I agree. Now, look at the actual stand here. There's pictures. I mean, those fabric drawers. Have you ever seen those things? They're like they're like those little stands, and then you put the little fabric drawers in them, right? And in the background in this picture, you see that those drawers are inserted in there. And then in a couple of other ones, they are gone. But this is a blown up picture right here to show you. They were those little fabric boxes that go inside a stand. And then they have some bathroom pictures and some screenshotted here. There's enough that you can see, but not enough to make you queasy, guys. Garment bags, I noticed those right away. Some of these things look like they were looking for something. They were ravaging through things in some of these pictures. I don't know why or what they were looking for or who it was after this crime, if it was somebody before or after, but I think these guys were already inside the house and they were laying and waiting. They were freaking hunted savagely. Okay. So, I mean, it's pretty bad in itself. Pretty bad. There are things on the floor that probably shouldn't be on the floor, like lights knocked down, Obviously, there was a struggle. There is her stand with the fabric boxes. This is just bad enough without having to go through it. And this is the original crime scene photos because you can tell the difference when you start looking at them. You can tell when, in fact, the officers or whoever the crime scene forensics or whoever the detectives were, they put some of these things in different containers. So, like you see Terry on the floor here, that little stuffed animal that was passed around at the party, they put him in a laundry bin after. Okay. And yeah, there's some things in this room that don't make sense. You know, there was clothes in a suitcase and backpacks, and I don't know if those were Ethan's, coming and going or whatever, but they did redact a lot. And like I said, it looked like somebody had fast food napkins and trying to smear things to tamper or change a crime scene. So there's a lot of stuff going on in these pictures, and some things a lot of creators have pointed out. I've waited to share so I could look through these and kind of determine what happened. And somebody was looking for something. I don't know what they were looking for. I don't know if it's, obviously some of the rumors that we've heard. I don't want to get into that. All I know is that they were looking for something that was obviously important or valuable. And yes, they had some fake IDs and, you know, a lot of cards, I'll say. And when you start looking at the pictures, it does make, a better picture that this was not one person. This was not one person. And if Steve said he didn't have to go upstairs, you have a good point. Steve said he didn't have to go upstairs. Who is he? And why does Steve know? That's my question. So if the target was Xana, then because of Xana's connection and her mom's connections, if the target was Xana, then why did Maddie go first and then Kaylee, according to the experts' documents, which I'll share that with you also. Maddie went first and then it was Kaylee. Why is that? Did they have the layout the year before thinking Xana was in another room? I mean, let's think about this. JD, I'm sure, hadn't gone into this house ever since Kaylee moved and they broke up. I'm just, maybe. No one's ever said if JD was in this house before either. What if it's the opposite way around? What if it was Maddie first, like the documents say, and then Kaylee, and then Ethan and Xana came home and got their food and, maybe figured out something was wrong. Something didn't sound right. Maybe they smelled blood upstairs. Remember, anything could have been possible. We're still not been given the full story. But when you start looking at these pictures, it starts telling a different story. I don't know when they're going to release the actual documents that basically give more from the autopsy. Now, a lot of people were saying that these things all over the room were fries, were curly fries, right? And there's some type of ketchup packet or taco packet. Maybe it was. Maybe these were fries spilled all around. There is some, there's some paper plates. It looks like a plate with French fries in here. But they had to have been in bed, sitting down, eating. Is that even possible? Because their phones are just laying on the beds. They're just laying on the bed. And this one says, kind like Kate. And there is the little drawers. Again, it looks like somebody went through these drawers. Some of these are a little graphic. Again, I'm going to give you a warning. Now, this picture is kind of, obviously they had booties on in the room and they were taking pictures. But, you know, you can see the boot here with the little booty on. And they're walking around. I mean, that room is small. They're walking around the crime scene the best they can. Now, I don't know what this is right here. Maybe it covered up the body, some of the body. And it does look kind of like a body bag to me. So I don't know if that was the forensic body bag or it was already there. Don't know. It's definitely not a game bag. And some of the clothes that they had on the night before were actually the black shoes that Xana had on, were under the bed. So she must have just kicked them off the night before. But there was some party. Something was going on. And I was a little hesitant on sharing the next one, but I'm going to go ahead and keep going. There was some Arizona driver's license. We know that Xana was from there. She lived with her dad and then she went to college. And there's some other things. You can see that some of these hair, it's shorter hair. It had to have been from Ethan, not Xana, in my humble opinion. It looks like the killer may have had blood on their jacket and swiped it all the way across. All the way. Right over here. And it doesn't look like this door was kicked in like a thud. Looks like it happened on the way to her bedroom. No expert in blood splatter, but it's a little bit. There's so many things going on in this room. I mean, you see a couple of tears in the bed sheets, in the mattress. You see a couple of rips. Definitely was some type of knife. And some of these pictures were taken before and some were swabbed after. So when you see that picture that it looks like somebody was trying to write a name, you have to look at the before and the after that was swabbed. Curly fries. That is obviously, I say it's a latent print. Somebody had booties on or some type of shoe covering or even a plastic bag. Okay? I mean, forensics, they kind of know. It looks like some type of bag that they wore on their feet. Left an imprint like a stamp. Again, these are actual crime scene pictures. This was before the swab. You could tell the difference because you can see clearly the L. You could see the L and the O. And I don't know if that's an N or an A. You can only speculate what it might be. Why was the spare room redacted on the body cam on the... Well, all the rooms were redacted on the body cam. Yep, there was a little lime green jacket in that room, which we'll get to. You'll see all of them. They dusted for prints to see if anybody opened it. It looks like Xana may have been harmed in the hallway because of the blood that was already outside of the room and then into the room. There's the plate of fries. So if Xana had food delivered at 2 a.m., then this happened sometime around that time. So what was the time the DoorDash came? Do you guys remember that? Let me just look at my notes. Hold on. Let me see if somebody else has it too. Let me see. I think it was two. Hold on a minute. Oh, there's so much wrong information, I'm telling you. What a ugh. What a mess. What was the receipt of the true DoorDash? Who got that information? Does anybody remember? 3:46. No, that's not the right time. There was one at 2 something. It was let me see. Yeah, they recently switched rooms. Let me just look at something here. They had 2 deliveries. Remember, Molly said yes. Molly said there was 2 deliveries, that she had a couple. I'm looking at my Insta, guys. I see you. I see you. So that's Jack's in the box of curly fries. In the kitchen, yeah, they had pizza earlier. I don't even think that's Xana's Taco Bell. It is a mess. She ordered it to something, but it wasn't delivered until 4 a.m. There is another DoorDash time. Let me go ahead and look. There is a receipt out there. Let's see. DoorDash. Here we go. Okay, Xana's DoorDash order. Here we go. Here's the video I was talking about.
Xana's DoorDash order was placed at 2:15 a.m., guys. Don't know who placed it. Allegedly, Xana. Jules is live right now. She released a few files. The weird part is, yes, placed at 2:15, delivered at 3:59, and Molly never mentioned getting a customer text that said, "Are you having trouble finding the home?" But that's almost a 2-hour. Where was this order placed from? Was it Xana who really placed it? Remember what was going on around 2? Remember Dylan said that her, Bethany, Kaylee, Maddie were up in Kaylee's bedroom and talked for a while before going to bed? Xana and Ethan allegedly weren't home yet. The roommates debated going out to the food truck for a late snack, prompting Dylan to text at 2:10 to an Uber driver she knew to see if he was driving. And then I guess they didn't get food and decided to just go to bed. Jules also popped up with this. One of the original documents that had already been released about as far as the Jack in the Box order. She said those coordinates, when you put it in, actually go to the sliding door of the house. But, again, didn't Molly say she finally dropped it off at the front door? This is insane to me. Xana's DoorDash.
Okay, so yes, it does say 3:59 finally dropped off. Where is the real DoorDash driver order? Yeah, and this is the crazy thing when you start looking at these pictures. There's food right here on a plate that looks like Taco Bell. Okay, Taco Bell and Jack. Now maybe, I don't know if you're like me, but you could go in my sauce drawer, guys. And I've got sauce from Chick-fil-A. I've got sauce from Cane's. I've got sauce from Jack. I've got sauce from, that's pretty much the only places that we eat if we go out at all. But it looks like to me that she could have had some sauce in a drawer, or maybe from the night before, and just wanted to have sauce with curly fries, whatever. That is truly possible. Excuse me. So let's see. And you bring up a great point. That was the receipt that was given through the FOIA request. And no, Taco Bell does not have curly fries. But if they were Jack in the Box fries, they're curly fries, and they could have used Taco Bell sauce on curly fries. So Jack must have delivered via DoorDash, and she could have had some type of other sauce. Molly shouldn't even be able to drive. She's a criminal. Well, can you drive for DoorDash with a criminal record? Can you drive for DoorDash with a criminal record? Well, then Molly should be on social media, because those with felonies and criminal records could actually do that. Now, it says DoorDash conducts background checks using a third-party service called Checker. Serious offenses like violent crimes, theft, or sexual offenses may disqualify you, while minor offenses may not significantly impact your eligibility. Recent criminal activity can affect your chances. If you have a criminal record, you may clear or expunge it to improve your chances of approval. And that is basically what the research says on that. Taco Bell has nacho fries. And does that look like nacho fries? Taco Bell has nacho fries. Does Taco Bell? Taco Bell. What if he went to Taco Bell? What if Gower made a run for Dylan and brought it back? Taco Bell nacho fries. Pullman, because that would be the only one open. Pullman has street corn nacho fries and supreme beef nacho fries. And this is what they look like. Nacho fries are back at the Bell. Now, I don't think they really... Well, let's look at that plate again. Hold on. Let's take a look at this plate. Let me go over a bit. Let me blow this up. Let me turn this. That kind of does look like some type of cheese. Dang it. Now I just hit the wrong one. Hold on. Dang it. Hold on a minute. Kind of looks like cheese on the plate, doesn't it? Let me go back down. Remember, my lives are raw, real, unscripted. Where is that? Now that wrapper looks like Taco Bell. Holy shit, look at that wrapper. That looks like a Taco Bell wrapper. Do you guys all see that? Is that not a Taco Bell wrapper? Let me look. Let me just see. Let me see what this thinks. Let me see what it's... Let me do a search. This is freaking crazy. Does that not look like a Taco Bell wrapper? Looks like one to me. Looks like a... Can't make this shit up. How many more times are they going to lie to us over and over again? Looks like a Taco Bell fast food wrapper for a burrito or a taco. Holy moly. It's Taco Bell. Why did they say Jack in the Box? Oh my God, y'all. It's Taco Bell. Looks like a burrito wrapper. Holy moly. So, who went to Taco Bell then? Maybe they said Jack to throw us off. Who went to freaking Taco Bell? Those are all Taco Bell packets. All of them. I would have thought maybe they were using some different type of sauce. Those are all Taco Bell. All Taco Bell. The sauce on the plate is from her mini fridge. Possibly, yeah, I saw that one too. So look it's all Taco Bell. Why did they say Jack? Where did those fries come from? Probably Taco Bell. All right, let me make these a little smaller. There's another Taco Bell. Well, same one. Taco Bell. So, why are they all lying and saying it was Jack in the Box? Because it would give away the time. Holy shit. Somebody needs to freaking FOIA that freaking Taco Bell delivery. Freaking A. Taco Bell Pullman. Somebody needs to FOIA that information. Well, that would align with the freaking pictures that I'm about to show you next. Okay, I'm going to switch out of this. And what was the first one? What was the first picture in these set of pictures? 11/18/22, blue Prius. Blue Prius. Oh my freaking Lord. Somebody needs to. I can't stand this case, y'all. All the freaking lies and the cover up. What type of freaking operation were they running that they didn't want anyone to see these pictures? It's a diversion. Yep. 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 Right there. 3:30. Jeez. Where did they go in the morning? They went somewhere to get food. DoorDash delivered Jack in the Box. These are college kids. They're messy. Bull fucking shit. Get out of here, Wolf, or whatever your name is. Go jack off somewhere else. I'm just so sick and tired of these bots. Okay. Sorry if I get a little spicy and I crash out, but I'm just so sick of this. It is time we get to the truth. All right. So somebody's pissed off because all right. So that was the Gower's car, but it's also Gower at 2:15, 2:10 that probably was talking with Dylan. They searched his car. They looked through all kinds of stuff because remember, he said he pulled over and cleaned out his car because Maddie made a mess in the back seat because she was eating with her hands and he was pissed off. He had to clean up his car before he went and picked up his next ride. So why would they be looking at his car if he didn't have anything to do with this? Yes, he even admitted he steam cleaned or cleaned his car. He pulled over at the Taylor Apartments to clean up his car. So why would they be looking at his car, folks? Why would they be looking at his car? Did they suspect him at any time? Probably. My gut instinct would be to check him out to make sure because of all the rumors they heard. But they took his car on the 18th, only days after this happened. It was all cleaned. Look how nice and cleaned it was. You can see the damn carpet cleaning tool that went across his car. Look at that. That doesn't mean you can get away with all the DNA being erased. If any, he had already admitted they were in the car. But if they find blood, that's a different story. Who knows what they found? They never gave us conclusive evidence. Never gave us anything. Taco Bell. Thank you, Amanda, for the times. Now we know that it was probably Taco Bell. Oh, and he had those little drinks in the car. Look at that. Probably the drinks he was offering the girls. Oh, and they had a black mask with hairs. How come we didn't see any of this in the forensic documents, folks? He had it professionally cleaned? Holy crap, Amanda. There is a bunch of hair in the car. Why is there a black mask? The fries that are curly is not from Taco Bell. Well, where did they come from? Did they have them in the fridge and warmed them up? Or threw them in the microwave to warm them up? Look at that. Yeah. There is a mask in his freaking car. What else was in his car that you just don't see every day at random? Can opener? Strips? Mask? Well, it was COVID around that time frame. Why would he keep an ice cream scooper in the car with utensils, cooking utensils? Glass cleaner, respirator mask, paper towels. What the heck? Sanitizer, a towel, a black towel, towels. Wow. Why would he need all that stuff in there? Before 7, what was that receipt? Oh, I don't know. I'm curious now. Did he go to Taco Bell for them and come back and deliver it? Now I'm really curious. All right, let's keep going. Yeah. Interesting stuff. I wonder if they tested his hat. What is this? 7119. Same napkins, kind of same napkins. Skittles. Wonder what that was that they blocked out. 71. Was that a hotel room? Let me see what it says. Let's see. 71.99, 24.99. I don't know what kind of receipt that's from. Unless otherwise. That's interesting. Let me screenshot. I'll do a background on that. Let me see this. Skittles. Huh. March. Wonder why they blacked it out. What's in that box? Is that a key with a box? Wonder what that is. Napkins. Napkins. Enter to win $1,000. Must have been a receipt. Find student. He's got student papers in there. Find student. Idaho Clear Water Upward Bound Student Access.com select student. He had student pictures in his car? What the frick? What? Yeah, it might have been an oil change receipt. What? He had access to find students. He had access to those records because remember, he was in a program that he was actually the liaison with the Nez Perce reservation. Wow, that's studentaccess.com. But if you look at the identifier, it says HTTPS right here in big letters. Idaho Clear Water Upward Bound studentaccess.com student UB select student, and that's probably where you can look at the students' pictures. So he had some pictures in his car, probably of students. Is that a black glove? What is that? Gloves? Yep, black gloves. I wonder if the matching one was in the middle of the street. Is that a polar ice? No, but it's an X. I wonder if that was a polar. Let me ask my trusty friend what type of glove is this? Let's see what it can identify. Let's pull it out, and I'll use Google Lens to see what it gives us. What type of glove is this? A lightweight insulated winter glove. Quilted synthetic fabric. Yeah, we could see that. What brand? It's not a tactical glove. Columbia, North Face brands. Either one. Doesn't define it as an isotoner or snow deer. Not Amazon Basics, Target. Well, it's Idaho. You need some type of gear on your hands. It's cold out there, guys. But there's only one, and it was pink on the inside. Would a guy buy a pink glove on the inside? What the heck? Pink lining? Maybe somebody lost or left it in the car. Wild. Well, they went through his car. That's the copy to enter the search warrant. You had to go back and get it so they can do a whole search warrant. You know, if that was truly from the bedroom, then that house was just poorly, just falling apart. You can hear every creak, every sound. It had to just been horrible. So let me go back to bedroom 2. Let me go down a little bit. And this is the picture after the forensics have put amino black on it. They have taken out the drawers that were there that were fabric. You could see that. That was after. There are some before forensics come in of the entire house. There was one picture, well, actually a few of them. Let me go over those real quick. But in the middle, let me just say this real quick. Let me grab this. This is really important. I had no idea this video was going to take off. So let me let you listen to this real quick.
I'm just going to start right here. I am not the only one that's having a really hard time with some of these photos from the
Now, is this a curly fry or not?
IDAHO4 that do not make sense. Now, I'm not going to share some of these pictures that are very extremely disturbing in my humble opinion. This is a warning. I will not be showing any body parts. However, there are a few pictures where I have seen fingers, and obviously there are pictures that we can only assume that there is hair. But I will say, you know, I know that I would not want this to be my child's pictures posted all over the internet. However, this picture was very disturbing, as well as some of the other pictures that looks like somebody has taken fast food napkins, have put their foot down and smeared or tried to clean up some areas. That's what I see. That's what I envision. Now, my views are my views alone. This is not professional uh, interpretation. This is just a human interpretation. And I'm going to be going over this live stream, obviously, in more detail with what I see and some of the things that don't make sense to me, in which a lot of people are saying, wait a minute, some of these things don't make sense. One thing is not like the other. And I would agree. There were some scalp injuries. I know there's a lot of discussion going around the internet about the IDAHO4 in these new pictures that were released and then deleted, just like some documents that were released and then deleted. And I was thankful that while I was on vacation, I actually downloaded on my phone, thank God for storage, the actual pictures. However, I will not be showing all of the pictures.
Now, yes, I changed my mind because people were asking, and after really, I mean, there are some pictures I won't show you. I just won't. But let's continue looking. And then after that, someone got really pissed over on TikTok, and I made a comment.
Now, I have seen this floating around a lot of places, and I will say,
and this is the video they tried to take my account down over, folks. That stupid little video that basically I said that surely did not look like curly fries. Now, here's my point. Who in the Hades would have the time to go and write, if anything, on the floor? Just like on the side of this desk. Okay? If you are laying on the floor and you are bleeding out, this was not a quick one and done, guys. This was not. If you look at the experts' reports, which I will share with you right now, you are going to see it was clearly not immediately. They did not pass immediately. If any of the victims had time to write on these floor, on the desk, don't you think that's a little strange that they had time to write these things? Who in the world would have wrote this stuff there? Who? Shadow, thank you so much. I'm at work and noticed you're live. Just want to say you're one of the content creators I respect. The Idaho 4 sector. Smaller content creators put a lot of time into this case. Keep up the good work. And you know what? Today is Monday. That $10 is going directly to our fabulous mods that are amazing here. They are here to help support us, keep this chat clean, and keep this stream on the forefront for facts and evidence. And I will tell you, I really appreciate my mods. I don't know. They are the best on the internet, especially on the YT. Now, who in the hell would have time to write these things out? Was it the victims? Or was it some creepy person that came in to make it look like this crime scene was significantly tampered with? I don't know. We can only suspect or allege because some of these pictures are so graphic. Yes, it looks like that is some type of burrito or something that someone has spit out. Don't know. Okay, there's a lot of speculation in this case. What were these people looking for, perhaps? I don't know. Don't know. But that surely looks like Taco Bell to me. And it doesn't look like it was just the night before. This looks like it was that night because you see a plate laying on the ground. So was this Friday night or was this a Saturday night deal? Was the Taco Bell delivered Friday night or Saturday night? Because some people heard screams, some people didn't. It was the quietest night in Idaho ever on Saturday. Were they laying there for a few days? Who knows the answer? I bet if we asked for the Taco Bell receipts and the Jack in the Box receipts, I'm sure that nobody will have any receipts in this case. That's just my opinion. All right, so let's keep going on. These are a little bit more graphic. They've been mostly redacted. And yes, I did see someone's fingers in the blanket. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to show you that. There is an actual body laying in a blanket. So look at those curly fries. It's got sauce just like Taco Bell containers, the little tiny container. Okay, that's usually what nacho cheese comes in. So if you try to tell me this is Jack in the Box, I'm going to tell you, well, maybe it was Taco Bell. Was it? Oh, let's take a poll. Let's take a poll on this picture. Do you think this is Taco Bell or do you think this is Jack in the Box? Go. I think the phone in Xana's car was an extra phone. I think the phone in Xana's car was an extra phone. A lot of people are saying both. The fries are not from Taco Bell. Well, Taco Bell fries, Pullman. Let me see what other people are tagging these fries from Pullman. Let's see. Instagram. Let's just go see what anybody's tagged. Nacho chili fries. Nacho fries are back. And this is exactly what those freaking fries look like to me. Okay? Those are what the nacho, the little tiny container. Okay? The little container. And sometimes you can get a curly fry in these. But the ones in the Jack in the Box are the super curly fries. This is Pullman, okay? People tag this in a Pullman. I'm just telling you. Nacho fries. They look like cheese and some type of fries. Back for a limited time. And let me go and see if Nacho Taco Bell has curly fries in Pullman. Let's settle this debate. You know what I'm going to do? We're on live. We might as well do it. I'm going to call Taco Bell in Pullman, and I'm going to see if they ever served curly fries. Let's see. Taco Bell Pullman. Let's just see what they say. Stadium Way. That's not too far.
Thanks for choosing Taco Bell. Michelle speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, did you say your name was Rochelle?
No, this is Michelle.
Oh, Michelle. Hey, I've got a question for you. Did you guys ever serve curly fries at Taco Bell with kind of like a nacho sauce?
I have nacho fries, but they're not curly.
They're not curly.
No,
Okay.
It's a straight fry.
It's just a what?
I said it's just a straight, regular French fry.
Oh, okay.
Kind of on the thicker side. Not quite as thick as a steak fry, but definitely thicker than like McDonald's fries.
So they're kind of like your classic fry that you guys have served before and brought back.
Correct.
And in no time, like 2022, did you sell curly fries?
No.
Okay. And has your fries always come with a little cup of nacho?
Unless they order something else, yes.
And then can you get it on the side if you just want a side of cheese?
A cup of the nachos?
Yeah, the little tiny black cup that comes with the nacho sauce. Okay, perfect. All right, thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, there we have it. So maybe, is it possible they went to both places? And the reason I'm saying this is because in the video that I showed you about the DoorDash, it says it was delivered at 3:49. Maybe they got tired of waiting.
It was placed at 2:15 a.m., guys.
15. And obviously, if that food
Don't
isn't
know who
coming,
placed
what
it?
would you do? I would order more. I would order from somewhere else if it didn't come in like 15, 20 minutes. That's just me. But, you know, you you order something and it doesn't come for almost, what is it? An hour and 45 minutes later? What? What is up with that? Right? I mean, if my food didn't come at a certain time, I would be like, okay, I'm going to place an order for somebody who is open, which would be freaking Taco Bell, in my humble opinion. And that's what it looks like. They got a mixture of both food. So if this food is in Xana's room, if I want curly fries, I want Taco Bell. Why is Eric saying he went to Taco Bell? I'm going to go to both places. Yeah, I'd go to both places too. Okay, so let's just say they got both, right? Because what did we see in the kitchen? We saw Jack in the Box and we saw the fries were on the microwave. So somebody had to have warmed up maybe cold food that got there super late and they wanted freaking hot food and they warmed it up in the microwave and they left half of the fries up there because they couldn't eat all the fries. They already probably ate a burrito. But was this on Friday night or was this on Saturday night? And how could we find out other than having the receipts? I don't see any receipts in the forensic documents. This is pretty graphic, just a warning. I'm just going to scroll through these real quick. Everyone's like, you didn't download them while you were standing in a Disneyland. Oh, hell yeah, I did. Okay. I Googled nacho fries from Taco Bell on November 12th and they offered them. If those receipts were missing, yeah, I would know right then something's up because it was not in the state's evidence either. Okay, so here we go. There was blood splattered on these walls, tiny little splatters. I tried to zoom in as much as I can, and I don't know how they found these little tiny spots, but there are tiny spots. So I don't know how those spots got on there in the forensic files. Maybe somebody else can explain it. Looks like maybe a fight started out somewhere else, went on into the kitchen, into the room. So when this is an unredacted photo, by the way, guys. And when you see this, there is nobody slumping over. There is nobody against the doorway. I don't know how this, obviously, this rug and this plate of food was sitting upright. It wasn't scattered anywhere, it wasn't thrown anywhere. It was just sitting like that on the floor. So, was that from that night? I have no idea. Without receipts, we have no knowledge. That food could have been sitting there on the floor for a day or two. It could have been from the night before. I don't know. Just so odd. Some of this stuff looks staged. Some of it doesn't. Some of it's been moved around after forensics went in there. So, you know, the food was just sitting on the ground. Don't you think if a fight ensued, my plate would be knocked over or all over the floor? And then there's no blood on the rug. It does look staged. It does to me. Coors Light. I'm sure there's more here that we're not seeing. And if Xana's blood was on this bar cart right here, then obviously she was attacked on the way into the room. What time? Still, the jury's out on that. And there you have Amino Black all over the floor. They moved the rugs. looking at their personal effects, which they have already blurred out. There was the labels on the wall for the blood splatters. And in my humble opinion, this room is pretty, I mean, I've seen crime scenes. This does not feel like a true crime scene to me. That is my opinion only. Doesn't even feel like it. Doesn't even look like it. It would be a freaking bloodbath. Somebody walked all over this. Somebody with a cheap pair of shoes, or maybe perhaps a baggie on their feet, or some type of covering like you see in the hospitals, you know, like feet covering. Not forensic. I'm talking about the cheap ones. I'm not saying the hospitals are cheap, but yeah. It might have been a plastic bag they used over their feet. That's kind of what the pattern looks like to me, but I'm no expert. I mean, you can go back and look at these. That to me does not look like French fries on the ground, people. And who had time to write something right there? That does not look like a freaking French fry. Does that look like a French fry? Drop a 1. Does it look like a fry to you? No, it looks like somebody tried to start writing. GAGUCO. I don't know. No freaking clue. Wild. Absolutely wild. Some of these things that you see in here are wild. Let me just make this smaller. That is when you walk in the door. So her head had to have been facing this way. If indeed she wrote something. I mean, do you think, drop a 1. I'm being serious right now. Drop a 1 if you think that Xana, Ethan, Maddie, and Kaylee knew their killers. Drop a 1. Zoom in on what, Carrie? Yeah, they fought. They had, oh my gosh, wounds like you wouldn't believe. Zoom in. Let me read that. Let me spin this around real quick. See, I looked at the door and it doesn't look like the door was kicked in my humble opinion. It doesn't look like it at all. Let me turn this 1, 2, 3. And then let me go over. Right there. Is it a G-O? Gower? I mean, what do you think? Did Gower know Xana and Ethan? Could that be a G-O? I mean, possible. It could be almost anything. If you don't know this case and you don't know the people involved in this case or the people named in this case, did Xana know Gower? Did Ethan know Gower? Did Xana ever take a ride with Gower before? Did he have Taco Bell's copy hole in the car? Oh, holy moly. I was wondering where that cookie came from. Hold on a minute. Let me go all the way up. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me turn this around again. Let me go down. Obviously, they had his car for a reason in there. Let me go inside his car and look. Someone mentioned Taco Bell way before that, though. He had his car cleaned. It was in the glove box or in the middle. Let me go back. A mask, a barf bag. Why would he have a barf bag for somebody who was intoxicated and sick? Refresher. I don't know if those are homemade cookies or... Let me see. I didn't know Taco Bell sold cookies, do they? Chocolate chip cookie. They say it looks like a bakery cookie, convenience store, cafeteria, or a gas station. Looks like maybe it came from a gas station or a cafeteria. Little Debbie chocolate chip cookie. Yeah, Jack in the Box sells cookies. If he has lotion and a basket in there, I'm going to freak. Why? Lotion, he's got sanitizer. Lotion. Let me go back through these. He's got hand sanitizer. He's got steam cleaner, something else. Alcohol. A barf bag. There's a receipt here, but I can't tell what it is. Let's see. Beanie. Oh, there's the other glove someone was saying is that I don't know if it's the exact match, but if it's got pink fur inside, the other glove is right there. So somebody, I doubt if he would use pink gloves, maybe his wife or someone. Okay, so there we go with that. Let's go back to bedroom. Let's go do bedroom 3. All right. This is Maddie's room. Remember, the ISP, and this is all public information. They released it. Hundreds of people, thousands of people already have this information. They released it. The ISP is not governed by the MPD courts. So the ISP can release whatever they want unless someone called and threatened that there's a court order and you shouldn't be sharing these. It was shared. Now this is Maddie's room. There's not a lot of graphic here. They did redact all the private pictures. The suitcase. There's the sheath, the infamous sheath that a lot of people were asking for. It was just laying there, right there. And I definitely, I hit the wrong button. Stop. Sorry, guys. Let me go back. Third. And let's see. There's not a lot here, just that sheath. And you do know this blanket. I'm going to show you.
There were several of them, and it's clear there were several of them, and some have real photos of the some have real photos of this atrocity. I bet there was so many of them, and there was 2 unidentified male DNA factually that the prosecutors couldn't determine how they were going to prosecute this case because, early on they had to tell the public a story, a narrative that the killer was removed off the streets, that they had nothing to fear. And I'm sure they knew that these people were still running around in that town, in my humble opinion. Now, the second part of this, now I hope that those who don't believe this still will start to realize how much the entire crime scene have been altered. Yeah, state's expert was going to testify in the document that I shared the other day that it was staged. Somebody positioned Kaylee on top of Maddie and then covered up with the blanket. And remember, in evidence, there was blanket bedding packaging, and I'll share it here. It was in the MPD evidence. Well, who went shopping that morning? Who left so early in the morning to go to the store? If indeed this was a new purchase. I don't have extra brand new bedding just laying around in a closet. So it was either premeditated or done after the fact, in my humble opinion. Of course, I am no expert. I'm just thinking about this logically, why someone would do this.
All right. So there was bed packaging that you can clearly see that was in evidence. And if you guys have not seen this show, His and Hers, what a shocking ending. Do not Google it. Do not Google it because it'll give you a spoiler. You guys want to watch this all the way through. But there was bedding packaging on 11/14/22 that was taken into evidence, along with the top items was powder, money, game bags, and package bedding. So don't forget that. Okay. I watched it. It was good. It was. Now, it is very possible that at 2 a.m., like other witnesses have said, Dylan and Bethany were not there. It is very possible they were not there, and the state had to put them there for their case to be prosecuted. Keep that in mind, because they were very well protected. Keep that in mind. As we go through the rest of these photos, there's not a lot here. Not a lot at all, other than the normal things that we have seen. And we've seen these in the news, on the door. I think that perhaps, in my humble opinion, Maddie and Kaylee came home. They were inside the house, had no idea. Dylan and Bethany were not in the house at 2 a.m. if this happened around that 2 a.m. And I don't know what to believe, because these parents seem like they have shared unfactual information the whole entire case. One parent said 2 a.m. The police are saying 4 a.m. Other documents and videos and things have come out saying 2 to 4 a.m. So who is telling the truth? The forensic documents or these videos and audio that have been released? What's your thoughts? Do you think they've been telling a different story for God knows what reason? I mean, these are pretty bloody crime scene. Again, I'm going to give you a warning if you're watching my live. I said I wouldn't show you the most horrible parts, and I have not. I will not show you any deceased body pictures, fingers. I have already skipped those for your benefit. But there's enough information here to suggest that perhaps this actually took place around 4 a.m. Yeah, the FBI has the truth. We're slowly learning the truth. Slowly learning the truth. And you know what? I just noticed something. This is so weird. On the calendar. I wonder what time this really went down. That is so weird. Why would they even give us that Veterans Day? Why would they even leave that in the pictures? A calendar. Interesting. Cactus bar. I mean, every time I look at these, I find something new and something interesting. I mean, the experts, let's do this. Let's go over what the experts said real quick, because this was interesting in my humble opinion. And, oh, why did I do that? Hold on. This is actually what was disclosed. And this was disclosed. And I'm just going to highlight two things that I want to share with you really quick. I highlighted. I don't know if it's going to stay hit. Let me see. These were all the experts that were coming in to testify. Two things. I made a video. I'll go over that one first. And
enough evidence. And if you were saying,
start this again.
Now, if I really wanted clicks, likes, and views, I could post 10, 20 videos a day on the Idaho 4 because there is enough evidence. And if you were saying that this crime scene was staged, then you would be correct, because the state's witness, yes, folks, in the Brian Koberger case, Idaho 4, where the 4 college students were unalived, the state's own expert witness had said, posing is a possibility. The evidence suggests that after both victims were killed or unresponsive, they were posed in their shared bed. Kaylee was moved from a position with her head on her pillow to partially atop of Madison. Then the comforter was placed over both of them. Underlined, added. The comforter was placed over them both. Yes, can't make this up. It was referred to intentionally arranging the scene for effect. They were posed together after the lethal attacks suffered by both, and they were covered with a blanket that actually the evidence of the new bedding was found. Kaylee was moved from a position with her head on her pillow to partially on top of Madison. Yep. These are the actual documents that have been released. Yep. Purposeful movement before she was rendered unresponsive. Movement of her head caused by blows or in response to blows by the assailant. Movement during the struggle. Intentionally or inadvertently moved by the assailant. And then they even stopped and they covered him with a brand new comforter. The splatum on the bottom sheet was limited to chest level. Can't make this stuff up, folks. This was a disgusting, heinous crime, not committed by Brian Koberger, who is factually innocent. And there are freaking killers out there that committed this horrible, heinous act. Are they your neighbors? Are they your daughter's boyfriend? Are they your daughter's husband? Are they your daughters, friends. It's a scary thing, folks. A freaking scary thing out there. You know the drill. Be well.
And so let me just, oh, thank you. Happy for you 226. That goes to my mods for Mod Monday. Their little pot of cash grows. And I'm going to go ahead and read from this document. It was in the document I shared earlier. So that was the posing is possibly, but not a determination that can be made to the exclusion of other explanations for their positioning. Now, we did see betting evidence. We did see some other things in here that made me question, was this planned out? Was this premeditated? Was this thought about prior? Because it says, as for the comforter being placed over them, the splatter on the bottom sheet was limited to approximately chest level. Guys, can't make this up. Maddie and Kaylee were first. The documents state this. I will put this up on our amazing website, Justice for All, so that you guys can go grab this document right now. I'm going to post it up there so you can go and read these for yourself. KS, Jess, and Art, thank you so much for the mods. They have approximately $25 added to their amazing pot. Thank you for making this such a safe place for us to be here, my mods. We are all humbly thankful that we have that support. I'm going to place that document right here on Justice for All. If you haven't seen it, it's Justice for FOURALL. Someone will post it below for you guys to have access. Give me a little bit and I'll put it up there. I'm not going to put these photos up there right away, but I will add some of these photos up there. If you have any questions, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe. There has been tons of you in and out of this live. Thank you for your amazing support. I always have more to bring you. Like I said, if I was here about the money, if I was here for clicks, likes, and views, I would be pumping out thousands of videos, which I don't have time for. I am just looking at the highlights, the overview, and I am showing you exactly what needs to be shown. If you have a queasy stomach, please don't recommend this to somebody that does. Please, I'm just telling you, there is going to be a disclaimer 18 plus on this video. And, you know, everything that I bring you is factual. The haters are going to hate. They're going to keep making videos about us and how bad we are because we're bringing you the actual evidence. What do I mean? These were the shoes that Maddie was wearing the night before at a dance. You can tell that either it was that night or the next night. I'm still not sold out exactly the time that this happened. I always said between 2 and 4 when Kaylee and Maddie got home to either Friday or Saturday night, which is still not confirmed. So you guys stay warm, make some soup, have a warm bath, sit in front of the fire. It's kind of hard to get outside when it's so freezing. I hope we finally get some answers in the IDAHO4 case. We deserve the truth. We, the people, deserve the truth. And if the parents have watched this and listened to this, I apologize in advance if it's not what you want to hear. That lawsuit is going to be shot down, and I hope we learn the truth. Be well, all.
I've been chasing shadows in the night. Words echo silent where I hide. Every mirror shows a stranger's eyes, searching for the part of me that's mine. But the sky ignites a spark inside, burning down to wait in the ashes of the truth is born again. I will rise up like a phoenix from the flame. Find my voice and call out your name. From the roots of what I used to be, I'll embrace the truth and set it free. Blinded by the weight of all my fears, I let them break me, shape my tears. Every scar's a testament to life. Now I rewrite the story in my life. Feel the fire burning. I'm no longer turning away from the truth that's calling. I'm alive today. All I used to be, rise up free, rise Larry, and set me free. Rising higher, Phoenix, watch me go.
Brian is innocent. Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.